Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and for this quick Beatles update here, I finally got some things in the mail I've been waiting on for this update here, and I was waiting actually on a book and a record, so now since they are here, I have a good bit of some LPs, a couple 45s, and a couple books actually, so we're just going to get right on to it, and I guess we'll just start with the book. And the one that I was waiting for, I guess both of these came in the mail, but this one was the one I was waiting for. It is a Bruce Spicer, forward by Perry Cox book, and this is the Beatles, I guess, Swan Song and other records as well. So this has obviously all the different variations on the Swan label for "She Loves You," and then it also goes through some United Artist, George Martin type records, and also I believe just some later reissue compilation albums in the 70s and 80s. And then for his books, he does kind of update some information from his previous books. So closer to the back of the book, there's just kind of some updated record items and things like that, like box sets and particular releases. Like I think there was a little blurb about the White Album here as well. So always enjoy these books, and I have the Parlophone one, the Beatles on Apple, the VJ book, this one, and then the price guide. So the only one I don't have is the two record set with the Beatles on Capitol. But if I were to recommend just one of these books, I would recommend the price guide book from 2007 because it still shows all the variations up until 2007. It doesn't show you the pictures, all of them, but it kind of tells you like all the different pressings that are out there at the time. So if I were to again just pick one, I would look out and seek that one out because those books can get pretty pricey, but I found one for a good price on eBay. And then the second book I got here, one of my friends found at a record store for pretty cheap, and I told him I didn't have one. He was like, "Well, I'll pick one up for you," and that is John Lennon in his own right. And this is I think it was like a sixth issue, sixth press printing. Sorry, got to go into book mode. Yeah, sixth printing there, and I didn't know this book had the drawing for "Free as a Bird" in it as well. So I'll have to do a little reading here. I do like all the little pictures and drawings in there. Those are always kind of fun. So now I finally got, even though it's a sixth printing, my friend told me I believe this still came out in 1964. So it's not in the best shape, but what are you gonna do for a pretty old book? So happy to have an original one of John Lennon's books. Now I got to look on for the next one, and I guess. So those are the books, and we're gonna start off or continue next with some 45s. And then speaking of the Swan book, I got a She Loves You with the don't. It doesn't have the don't drop out uh, quote phrasing there, so that's a slight variation I didn't have yet. And I am going to be looking for a nicer picture sleeve of "She Loves You" U.S. pressing because the one that I have is not the greatest of shapes, and I know those could be counterfeited and stuff. So the picture sleeves that are counterfeited have a perforated edges on the outer seams of the picture sleeve. So I'll have to keep an eye out for one of those, maybe a record show in a couple months, actually. So that should be a good place to go check. All right, a couple solo 45s here. Let's start with this one. So I had the record for this one, but I needed the sleeve, which is a pretty tough get. Um, and that is the Wings Spin It On, backed with Getting Closer. in a nice bright blue and hot pink. And this was pretty much brand new in terms of condition. So actually, the friend that got me the book, I got him one of these sleeves because they uh, found some had seller had two on eBay for a good price. So there you go. So that fit nicely with the record that I already had. And then this next one here is my first postcard 45, I guess we can call it, from Poland. And this is John Lennon, Woman. And so that is a postcard on cardboard. There's the back, as you can probably see. John Lennon, Woman, corner here with a nice little windmill scene. And you can see the grooves. There we go. Get some light on it. You can see the grooves. So first Poland um, postcard 45. I guess the Russian X-rays would be another one to get, but I know those are pretty pricey and pretty hard to find original ones. I know they bootleg those as well, but probably nothing like that anytime soon. And so those are all the 45s. And I got some records here. Again, a couple from the mail, a couple from a local record store, and I guess we'll go with this one here. This one I was kind of on the fence about getting initially, and but I was like, I'm probably going to get it eventually, but I wasn't going to pay the initial retail price for this. And that is the John Lennon Mind Games Meditation Mix, really bright and shiny cover. So I kind of just split it on the edge here. I'll save the hype sticker later, but it was definitely interesting release. Again, I think retail at like close to $80, but I was like, I want to hold off on this one and see if Amazon will drop down the price any. And it got down to like 30% off at one point. I was like, it's still kind of holding off. And then I think at one point it got to like 60% off. I was like, all right, I'll do that. So just got out of the shrink wrap, and you see, really shiny. There's the back, and there's the gatefold. It's a triple album. So there you go. And I believe everything is on clear vinyl, if I remember. So let's see what we got. Here's one of the inner sleeves here. And I'll listen to anything once, and that is a pretty clear vinyl there. So I will definitely take a listen to it, see if it's my jam or not, my style. Um, so I'm coming in with no expectations, and we'll see what happens. And if it's not, I'll put it with all the other kind of experimental albums. I will kind of put it in at for that type record. But I know I was going to want to get it at some point in time. I'm just glad I got it for 60% off. So um, yeah. So I don't know what it's at right now on Amazon, but I'm also kind of hoping on waiting maybe to see if the Venus and Mars Half Speed Master will kind of go down at some point. I kind of doubt it. Those usually stick around retail for a good while. And then I was actually going through some of my records in RAM. I guess some of the more popular titles on Discogs, like medium prices now, like $90. So maybe I just need to bite the bullet and get Wings at the speed of Wings, Venus, and Mars at some point here. But I'll get that at some point. Okay. So now a couple of record store. Well, I got two more online finds here. More solo stuff, and I'm not too sure if I showed this one already. Again, I've been reorganizing all my records, so I have piles everywhere. but I know I've mentioned it. I got it. I don't know if I showed it, but it's the Ringo's "Time Takes Time" album, and 1992. This is just a from Europe pressing. There's back, and I really enjoy side one a lot. A lot of good songs on that one, and side two. I don't know, or I just don't. I'm not too familiar with it quite yet, but I enjoy listening to this album. And I was going to say with this, I kind of got all the Ringo albums on vinyl, and I was going to do a video um, on it, but Ringo decided to release two of his albums that were only on CD on vinyl. That the Ringo at Soundstage from like 2008, and then a Ringo Rama uh, Deluxe 2 LP edition. So I will be getting one of those variations. I'm not going to get both variations because I don't really need to at the moment. Again, maybe way down the line, and they're super cheap somewhere, maybe. But those seem like pretty good like record store day things, like what they've been doing with the old ways and Stop and Smell the Roses. So I'm curious if they're going to do anything for record store day coming up in, I guess it'll be Black Friday in that same kind of vein. But those are kind of the releases, at least what I think for a record store day they need to put out. It's just something they have to not either put on vinyl or just kind of bonus tracks like the Ringo Rama album. So pretty excited about those releases actually. I'm always for getting some things on vinyl that have not been released on vinyl yet. And I guess that'll segue into the next record here. Because speaking of that, we got the George Harrison "Let It Roll" uh, compilation. That's going to be released on vinyl too. Again, I think a pretty good record store day type release. But I actually don't even have a CD version of that, so I'll probably get that on vinyl as well. There are also bootleg vinyl copies of it. I think on clear vinyl, but they want like really. I think I've seen some on eBay. Like people want like $300 for it or something. But thankfully, we'll have a official release here soon. So that being said, George Harrison album here, 33 and a third, and you can probably see why I got this as a promo sticker and also the hype sticker for the song "This Song." So this is definitely a upgrade album for the one I already have. So it's back. It's in a pretty nice shape. Played it. Sounds great. And of course, it's on the Dark Horse label here. So happy to pick up another George album. And I believe we got a couple more solo albums, and then we'll go through the Beatles ones. I got one more solo, and that'll be Sir Paul McCartney. Got a little bit of everyone for representing solo today. And I found this at a record store, and yeah, he gave me a pretty good deal on it because I bought a couple other things. But this is a Band on the Run half speed master on the Columbia label, and had all the inserts. I think there's some inserts in here, and the record was in really nice shape. So I was more than happy to pick this one up and kind of test it out against some of the other uh, editions of Band on the Run. You know, that one has a half speed master kind of reissue thing. Um, I haven't really seen too many people talk about this version, I guess sonically, but all I could tell you really, at least with my setup, is that it sounded pretty good to me. I don't know whether that just be because that's the condition it's in, or the half speed master part, or both. So if anyone has any more information about this pressing compared to maybe some of the other ones, let me know in the comments. So as you can see, this thing is pretty nice. So thankfully they put this originally in a polyline sleeve to save it a little bit, because this came out in 1981, I believe. So kept its condition pretty well. And I'll put all that back after the video, and then we're finally on to the Beatles records here. Got 3 of them here, and can't go wrong with a beat up copy of Meet the Beatles. But yes, there's some variation of it. So this is still a 1964 copy, but this has the ASCAP credits on every song except for I Want to Hold Your Hand, which is the BMI credit. So it's just like a slight pressing variation, that kind of thing. Again, it's not the greatest shape, but for something like this, I'm okay with something a little bit beat up, just for a slight label variation. I don't have to pay, you know, $20+ for a nicer copy. I can pay $5 for a label variation. I got plenty of other copies I can play over this, so sometimes I can live with that a little bit. So it did come with the original blue inner sleeve at least, so that's always a nice touch. All right, and then we go on a little bit on the Beatles later side, and we got a Yellow Submarine, and this one happy pickup on the orange capital label there. Don't really find too many reissues or repressings of this album out and about. I always seem to find this kind of it on Apple, either original ones or reissues from 71, 73 time frame. Um, I don't know. I just don't really see too many Yellow Submarine albums out and about. There's side 2, and I think I might be pretty close on getting most of the Yellow Submarines here. Sorry about moving you there. Let's see. Looks like I need the All Rights, the Apple All Rights pressing from 75, and then let's see some of the Rainbow ones from the 80s. So I'm getting close for Yellow Submarine. Helps that there's not too many repressings of it, so you can kind of get all the pressings somewhat quickly. And then the last find of the day, and probably the best find of the of this update here. One of my local stores has a guy that brings in some pretty nice Beatles stuff, and I had a UK pressing of "Please Please Me," and yes, I just came from England and I found a nice UK "Please Please Me" an hour away from me, so that kind of works. So there's the back, and from what I can tell, this is kind of a third slash fourth pressing of this album. So it has the third pressing label, but it does not have the extra 33 on the label, if that makes sense. So the initial third pressings they switched to the black and yellow Parlophone label with the 33 up there, but they also had an extra tiny 33 from the black and gold label on there as well. So this is kind of technically the fourth pressing, which has the third pressing label, but without the tiny 33 and a third right there. So kind of a tricky one to find. And you saw the cover; it was in pretty nice shape. The record's not bad, and the Emmy Text inner sleeve is also like pretty white and clean. So whoever had this definitely took care of it pretty well. And it's a mono edition. Um, Please Please Me. So just like that, I have the third pressing with the tiny 33, the fourth pressing, and then I just picked up the fifth pressing in England. So still hunting for the first pressing. I'll get it one day, and I know the first and second pressing are pretty much the same in terms of just the label, but one day I'll get maybe 1 through 5 for Please Please Me. But right now, I just got 3 through 5. But that'll be a goal for another day in the future. I just got to find the first pressing, and then I'll be sitting pretty pretty good with all the UK pressings that I got. So I actually had a pretty good amount of stuff there. I didn't know how long this video was going to be, but I'm glad I kind of stretched it out here. And like I said, I've been actually reorganizing all my 45s and Beatles albums, and been actually going through all the spreadsheet, kind of updating prices and stuff, um, all that kind of stuff, because I have not done that in a long time. So if you want to see a video, maybe my newly reorganized records, let me know. I'll kind of show through you what I've done. So if you're interested in that, I'll hopefully get a video out like that. I still got one more crate to go for the 45s, so hopefully I can get that done in about a week. So stay tuned for that. And of course, whenever I get new Beatles stuff in, I will put it in a next Beatles update. So um, that's kind of all I got right now. Upcoming events, again, I got the record show in August, mid August, and then maybe a couple record stores on a little mini vacation, summer vacation. So so that should be pretty exciting for some new acquisitions. So anyway, I'll stop rambling here, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.